Yeah, hi friends, Doc South, and boy, I don't know. There's a road south of here, south of Long Valley, um, and it's it's kind of a strange little piece of road. You get right down to it. I may have done this as a video before, but if so, I did it a long time ago. There's, and I just wanted to get the tale told. There's an area north of Oldwick, New Jersey, and I can't think. You'd have to consult your maps, right? But the road that goes from Oldwick, New Jersey, up to Long Valley, okay, through Fairmount and all. I know I should know the number, but I haven't been on that road in a while, so quite honestly, but yeah, you'll see. There's one main road that does that route. And it's a rural road, well traveled, especially at commuter time. When people are either trying to get home or trying to get to work. Yeah. And one night I was on that road, okay, just a little bit north of Oldwick, and there's this area they call the police call it the meat grinder, because there's so many wrecks there. It's a relatively sharp turn on a downhill grade if you're heading south. It's uphill if you're heading north. Probably not as much trouble going north as someone going a little too fast heading south or getting on ice. And there's been more than that section's share of wrecks on that road. I don't know if generally the road is not a road you can travel fast, and most folks see the curve and slow down, and especially if they're going downhill. So I don't know if the wrecks are entirely hopefully not too serious. But like I said, the cops call it the meat grinder. And, and I imagine the rescue people do too. Well, I'm heading up the hill, heading north out of Oldwick one day, and one evening, I'd been down to visit my parents. I believe, well, if I was going to visit my parents, chances are we went to the casino. My parents lived down near Lakehurst and in central Jersey, and usually if I went to visit them, well, we'd hop in the car, get on the sucker bus, and down we'd go. And so I was coming back fairly late, 11, 12 o'clock, something like that, riding along the road. Had something on the radio, probably some oldies. Maybe I was playing a tape of one of my shows, checking it for, did I do a good job, that kind of thing. And I'm heading up the hill. And again, I didn't have the world's fastest car, so I wasn't really doing any 900 miles an hour. I certainly wasn't up to Mach 1. In fact, I think there is a sign down there that says, Doc, step on it a little on this turn. Well, you try to, people are going to climb right up your tailpipe. So I was doing the best I could. I was probably doing 30 or so. And, I'm just watching the headlights, listening to the tunes. And all of a sudden, I don't know, I noticed something off to my left, and I look, and darned if there wasn't. Now, I'm telling you, this is absolutely what I saw. I am not kidding. God is my witness. I look off to my left, and there's a person shape, a humanoid shape, running next to me. Yes, running right alongside the car, maybe about 4 feet to my left. Yeah. And no, it's running in the oncoming traffic lane, but it was late at night, no oncoming traffic, and keeping up rather well. Yeah, but the only thing is this humanoid was made of shadow. Yeah, it was dark. It was dark out already. It was nighttime, but this shadow was actually darker than the darkness. In other words, you know how you get lights when sometimes your high beams or your low beams, whatever, we'll play off a little bit to the either side of the vehicle. Okay. Well, there was a shadow shaped person running alongside me. Didn't seem to notice me. Didn't seem to. Maybe it was just kind of keeping up, out for some exercise. I guess it didn't. It kind of. I think I saw it look, one way or the other, but it didn't really act as if it noticed me. I noticed it. Maybe it noticed me too, and just maybe it was used to traveling along traffic. Maybe it liked to spook people out. I don't know. But there it was. Yeah, I gunned it a little, but the being could just ran a little faster. Yeah, go figure. No, nothing happened. Just there it was. Then after a while, it kind of slowed up, and I moved on. No, yeah, I had my windows up. And if I didn't, I would have probably rolled them up. I don't think it would have done any good. But no harm done. No, blah, blah, blah kind of thing, or it didn't have a knife and tried to slit my throat or nothing. It was just boogieing along. I almost expected it to holler, "Hey, how fast are you going? I want to see how fast I'm going." I was doing about 35. Of course, I was shortly doing about 60. Maybe that's why there's crashes on that section of road. Maybe people get startled and just don't want to say anything. I don't know. But I did, honestly, yeah. Shadow folks are out there, and they never seem to be much harm. I've never noticed one to be necessarily of evil intent, mischievous intent sometimes. But yeah. I know Sonny talk about shadow people. I know Sonny, when she was a little girl, she lived in an area in Pennsylvania where there was a covered bridge in our town. And she said there was lots of shadow people in the bridge. She would see them, being a psychic. And they'd never bother her. They'd be out doing their thing. Probably wishing they had a fishing pole. Yeah. I think a lot of times these scary situations you see, the evil incarnate and all, I don't know. I think a lot of these beings are probably just like you and me, want to live and let live, probably wish they didn't have to work and could go fishing. And there you are. Or they hang. I guess we got a moment. Yeah, I got a moment. There was, I remember once I was asleep in a house that was pretty well full of mysterious things happening all the time in the town of Chester. And I remember I'm asleep, but that half asleep, half awake kind of thing. And all of a sudden a kind of portal opened in at the far end of the room. And I could look inside it, and it was someone else's house. It was like all of a sudden there was a door in the middle of the room, my bedroom, that led into someone else's house. And I had to get up and see what was going on. Stuck my head in through it, and darned if it wasn't it was a house pretty much like ours, except some of the stuff had like an energy feel to it. Yeah, it was more like energy. But there was especially the people that were in the room. They were kind of like shadow people, but they buzzed with energy. They had a kind of electronicness to them, as best I can say. And they kind of hummed. No, they weren't humming a song, but they were doing much like we would do in our house. I think there was what looked to be a father shadow person sitting in a chair, reading a paper. Again, you couldn't really see features. But yet it was humanoid. It was a kid playing, I don't know, with a toy. Mom was setting up supper, and there was a round table with fruit on it. Like a bowl of fruit. Yeah, it looked like a house out of the 1940s. Only there was a TV or a radio or something, and the kid had a toy he was playing with. Other than that, didn't seem. Other than it being that the people didn't look like people. They were pretty much same as we would be in our house as supper drew near. Just interesting. I don't know. I thought you might like. I love hearing your stories. If you've got anything, if you can always give me permission to pass it on with or without your name, because I think people I think sometimes we watch the movies too much, and there's these horrible monsters that are waiting to devour you whole in the middle of the night. I don't think that's always the case. Maybe it is sometimes, but not always. And a lot of these things are, I don't know, somehow universes colliding, I suppose, somehow. But interesting. And I'll be happy to share them with you. If you got something that's legit, let me know. And no, I won't mention your name. That would be wrong. I'll just say a listener or a fan. Yeah. Okay. Unless you insist that I do mention your name, then at that point it's still just first names. Okay. See you later. Bye now, friends. God bless, and keep your eyes open. You'll be surprised what's out there. Yeah. I'll see you later. Bye now.